All right, we back live. Stop crunching and all that. All right, I don't know what it was, the Hangouts, because everything loaded up right this time after I rebooted. So this was the Hangout. So let viewers get back up. Let's share this link actually.
People are like, what the hell? Man.
Y'all can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Try to make me act like you can't hear me. I'll slap the shit out of you.
These are delicious.
Oh my God, you can stop with the cuts and Tony.
Organic gummy bears.
I eat organic gummy bears, though.
They're delicious. Why? Why have all that other bullshit?
What the hell? What exactly is an organic gummy bear? So?
Well, I'll show you. I don't know. But it tastes damn good. They're delicious. First time I had them up. Black Forest. They taste,
that sounds like you took all the fun out of eating gummy bears.
Organic tapioca syrup, orange cane sugar, gelatin, organic lemon juice concentrate, organic tapioca starch, organic potato starch, organic sunflower oil, color, carrot juice, turmeric. Ooh, turmeric. Them, Mark? That's organic.
Yeah.
I haven't even worked out in a year.
That should be the tagline.
What you doing over there? Beating off to Kanye West?
I'm cutting potatoes.
You know we live, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm making it interesting. Come on.
Oh, making it interesting. Let me know when the I can't see it, David. Let me know when the viewers get back on so we can continue.
All right, we up to 8 right now.
Okay, so go ahead, Tony. I believe you was.
We already went. I mean, we already went through it. I think we're all on to the next question. Or,
David, do we have any questions?
Not yet. Link just went back up. I'm reposting.
All right, I'm sharing it on one more page.
oh, these things are good.
All right.
You never finished saying what you thought the standard meant before it got dropped off.
Yeah, Lawrence. Yeah,
Well,
man.
it's not about what I think it means. It's about what it means. It doesn't matter what I think it means. That's the problem. Now, everybody thinks it means what they think it means. That's not how it works. The standard calls for heavy bone. The standard calls for arch necks, wide chest, wide shoulders. It calls for all those things. So I just get tired of seeing people saying that they breed to the standard because they breed for correct dogs when their dogs don't have any breed tag. But then those are the same people that criticize the people who have bullier dogs. It's like they don't understand what the standard says. It just blows my mind. They get so upset and they constantly use the standard. But if you look at their dogs don't have any of the features that the standard calls for.
I mean, it's just as bad, yeah, because they're criticizing the bullier dogs who are train wrecks, but at the same time, you know, they're lacking severely in their program. You can't have a terrier dog and call it an American bully.
Right.
Yeah.
If your dog doesn't have, all right, let's just say it's 5 things that actually the standard calls for trait-wise in order for the dog to fit the standard. if your dog only has one of those things or none of those things, I don't see how that's breeding to the standard. I think people, it's normally, and I'm a show guy. I mean, I'm a show guy. It's normally the people who do a lot of showing that don't know what the standard says, and those are the same people that say that they breach the standard. So it just blows my mind when I see it. Like, did you read it? Did you really read it? Because even the classic standard calls for bone. It calls for the arch neck. It calls for the boxy muzzles and the broad heads and broad chest. Even the standard, I mean, the classic standard calls for that. So I don't see. I don't get it. But,
what do you think of those people that are in the bully community, Lawrence, that when this argument comes up, the number one thing that says, can your dog breed, can your dog run, is your dog athletic? What do you say to those people?
That's not, this dog is not bred to beat that. That's not part of the standard. If you got dogs that can do that, that's beautiful. That's not, but that doesn't have anything to do with
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not dogs that can do that. But that has nothing to do with the standard. Like, your dog can run and jump and do all of that, but if it doesn't fit the standard, how are you helping the breed? Like, how is breeding dogs that don't carry these traits helping the breed to evolve into what it's supposed to be? It's like it's broken down into 3 groups. So how's it all supposed to come together as one when you got people breeding those that don't have any breed type, those that have breed type, those that have no breed type on the other end of the spectrum? How's the breed supposed to come together and make any sense in that? I don't understand. So, amen. Somebody hit me up. Somebody hit me. Explain to me what's going on? What needs to be done, or what is going on?
Somebody hit us up and tell us how you feel. Let us know.
That I'm missing. Somebody got an opinion, hit us up. Matter of fact, you can call my phone. I'll put it on speaker. 717-887-6146. 717. And my numbers on all my videos.
Or why can't you put them in? They can get put in also, right? You can
a lot of people don't. I don't know. I guess they don't know how to get in, or they don't want to.
So call or send them your email address, and
you want to call me and voice an opinion on that. My number is 717-887-6146. You can call me up, and I'll put it on speaker, and we can discuss it that way. But somebody call me and let me know, why is it that people who breed correct dogs think they breed to the standard? Or what's your opinion on that? What's your opinion on what we're saying? I mean, we don't have to be right.
Man, I need a recliner like you, man. And I can just relax, man. I gotta move around. I can't sit still.
The lazy boy. This is the big and tall lazy boy.
I have one too. I got one in my parents' basement, man. I need to bring that over here.
Big and tall. This chair's. I've fallen asleep watching movies in this chair many a night.
I don't know if mine's as good as that. I don't know.
My little mama over there sleeping. She tucked it out. They were running around over there outside.
Who, Big Ange?
Her name is not Big Ange or Large Marge. That was just something I said, right?
What is it? Large Marge.
That's my baby.
Large Marge.
Large Marge is what they call me.
You traded on Lingo, Lawrence?
Huh?
You traded on Lingo?
Lingo's still here, boy. What's wrong with you?
You said that was the new Marge was your baby.
Listen, all the babies are the baby.
Right. Special attention.
Every time you get a baby, you gotta get that bond with them. You gotta let them.
Well, Lawrence, they're only a baby once, right? They're only a baby once.
So all the babies are my baby. When they baby, they all my baby. He's still my baby too.
That lazy bastard. Look at him.
Once again, my number is 717-887-6146. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about what's going on with the standard versus what's going on in the community, what's going on at the show, whatever you want to talk about. 887-6146, or you can send me your email and I'll put you in the conversation. Hit me up right now on Facebook, and I'll bring you in right now. We can discuss it. Let's go. I see all these people on. What's up, man? Cialis? Mr. Lamb.
Alice.
You know what I mean? Somebody hit me up. Or as a matter of fact, we gonna hit him with the double whammy. Let's see how far I can push my broadband over here tonight. We're gonna go live on Facebook too.
Bam.
Facebook.
Oh man, we can't go live on Facebook, man. You got at least
Facebook.
do my hair and shave, man. Damn.
All right, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna go live on Facebook, and y'all just gonna get to watch. All right, so we're gonna put this one right here. Bam. And we're going to go live on Facebook. So, let me see. Put this one over here. Okay, so we live on Facebook. Hold on, man. I got to set him up. Hold on. Okay. Set him up. Bam. Hold on. So, we live on Facebook, y'all. I came live on Facebook so I can see if there's anybody out there that want to come on and join in the conversation. We got a Woody Roundtable going on. You can get on my YouTube, or you can get on the Facebook link on my page, Tony's page, ABKC, RKC, wherever you want to watch it at. And just drop a comment, drop a question. If you want to call in, my number is 717. Hold on, we got a question and debatable. Just hit me at inbox behind join the live feed.
I'm not getting you live. It's saying it cannot be displayed, and when I go on your page, I don't see any live feed.
I got 3 viewers. I don't know. Maybe because
I don't know. Maybe.
Or your little weak broadband.
What are you talking about? I got fast internet, son. It's just lightning quick. Don't even.
All right, so I'm waiting on an email. If y'all can see me, if y'all can see me on this video here, let me know, because Tony said he can't see me. And like I said, 717-887-6146 if you want to join in the conversation. Hold on, I'm about to let in somebody right now in the conversation. One great show decided to come through. So we gonna let him in.
Bam.
Oh wait, I gotta make sure this dude got Hangouts. You got Hangouts?
Well, he don't need Hang. I mean, if he's going from a
No, he wants to come in the conversation. You need Hangouts to come in the conversation. If you have Hangouts, everybody has Hangouts, but you gotta set it up. If you got Hangouts and you want to come in, let me turn this over here so I'm on both of these on right quick. If you got Hangouts and you want to come in on the conversation, send me your email. Okay, so he has it. Send me your email and I'll invite you in on the conversation, and we can discuss it.
You need a Hangouts app from your phone if you're using your phone, but if you're using just your computer or PC,
you gotta have it set up. Everybody has.
You just need a Google account. That's
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is a Google account. So if you have a Google email, there's nothing to set up. You just go to Hangouts, Google Hangouts, it'll pop up. You enter your same password for your email, bam, and you're in. Right, Damien?
Exactly.
Thank you, my man.
Oh, man. What's up, Spielberg? You're looking out on the view.
What up, Spielberg?
My man Spielberg watching, man. We need We need somebody to call in and we want to hear your opinion. I'm waiting for Mr. Guapo Bullies to come in and give us his opinion on what's going on and what's up with the standard, man. My man, my man. Anybody over here got any questions about the standard or don't understand the standard or have an opinion or their view on the standard and want to give it? Hit me up over here. Hit me up over here. You hit me on my phone, 717-887-6146. You hit me on the inbox. I don't know where Mr. Huaco is.
Do you guys believe there's any room for interpretation of the standard, or is it just straightforward? The standard is what it is.
No, everybody's going to interpret it the way they, they read it or see it. There's going to be
To a certain extent.
right.
I think that the features that the standards call for is a must, but the look, I'm not saying that the look is locked in stone. I'm saying the features that the dogs are supposed to have. Not your look. You can develop your look in your mind and how you going to do it, but the dogs still have to have those features to be able to be considered having breed type and being an American Bully. If it calls for heavy bone, there's no reason why the dog shouldn't have bone. It calls for that in the standard. And I don't think that people realize that when they breed these dogs that they're putting in a ring at standards that have no bone whatsoever. I don't think they've read the standard. The standard calls for bone. It calls for the crest on the back of the neck. It calls for the wide shoulders and the spread and the drop and the thick, wide rears that match the front of the dog. It calls for all these things. So there's no room for interpreting that part of the standard. Now, your look, that's different.
What up, homie? Welcome to the show.
Oh, what's up, nice man? Seeing you do your thing. I hate seeing the bullies looking like pugs. That's my man Isaac Mantilla Senior. He say he hate when the dogs look like pugs. I definitely hate it too. I think going too extreme one way or the other is not helping the breed at all.
Lawrence, let's welcome our guest. We have our guest.
He's in? Okay, I didn't have my screen up. Hold on.
Yeah, so let's
What's up, my brother? What's going on? How you doing tonight? Say your name so we know how to say it.
Joaquin Serrano, or you could call me Kenny. Everybody calls me Kenny. They can't pronounce Joaquin.
That's easier. That's easier. How about Kenny, baby?
What's up, Lawrence? Man, how you doing tonight, man? I'll be checking out your lives and stuff. I figure I wanted to come in and ask a few questions and maybe pick your brain a little bit. I know over the years since I met you the first time in Allentown, you always been thorough and you always throw out good info out there on the bully world. My question is what is a partnership? What is a true partnership when it comes to bully breeding?
That's a good question. It depends. It depends on the relationship you have with a person. It depends on what you expect out of the partnership, what they expect out of the partnership, because all partnerships are different. Sometimes they don't work because people set them up the wrong way. So basically, I mean, for me, if I'm partners with somebody, basically we both doing our own thing, but we come together we come together to build off of what we both do. Like I don't believe in the whole we partners and one person's in control, the person in control. This one wants to do their own thing, and you got that depends on you and the individual. As far as I'm concerned, so
I think the main thing in a partnership is trust. You have to trust each other. That's the thing. You have to be able to rely on somebody. You have to be able to trust them.
Right.
You're swapping dogs back and forth, and your partner's going to be holding your dog and stuff. You got to be able to trust them. And in this game or in any dog breed, man, you got a lot of foul shit going on. You know, you got people doing cruddy shit. You got people selling dogs from underneath their partners. You got people breeding them and studding them out and not telling their partners. So trust is the main thing. But I think two people, they don't have to bring the same thing to the table. You know, you can each have different things that you bring to the table, but you both have to have something to offer, you know, when it comes to a partnership. So that's key. And then you come together to go ahead and do your thing, man, you know. That's what a partnership is to me.
Okay, I'm just trying to get clarification because I've had 2 partnerships going bad, and it's always, I always feel like what could I have done to not let it go south? And I hate to second guess myself, but you know, after seeing some posts that people put up with regards to this previous partnership I had, and I started asking myself, I said, damn, you know, from what I understand, I'm the one with all the dogs, and I was the one that brought you in, but you making posts like you took me on as a partner, and it's crazy, you know, because you give 100, and sometimes more than that, but yet, you know, you got people that just want, but they don't want to see your point of view as far as the time and money that you've invested already. You know, I would like to have a clear understanding of what a true partnership is from this moment on, because there's a lot of people that hit me up, yo, I want to be part of your team, or let's do something together, but I'm reluctant because I guess, you know, Lawrence, you said it, and you said it as well, you know, when you talk about it and you clarify things, you know.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time. I've had a hard time with that, you know.
I'm gonna give you
It's
advice.
crazy.
That's the best advice when it comes to partnership. Always be 100% clear about what you expect from the other person.
Okay.
And don't take on a partner that's not putting in as much as you put in.
They have to bring something to the table. That's why I said both sides have to bring something to the table.
If somebody gets involved in something that you're doing and they're not bringing nothing to the table, they're not putting in the work, you know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing to add to what you're doing. They don't have nothing invested in it. So it's easy for them to walk away. It's easy for them to not take care of dogs. It's easy for them to come to you and be like this, and then they turn around and want to sell you dogs back when they have litters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be clear when you deal with somebody. It shouldn't be like, you shouldn't be giving your partner dogs, and then when they have litters, they want to sell you a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All for the same dog that you gave them. Like, that's craziness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you deal with
I
somebody,
just had.
you want to make sure that they bring just as much to the table as you bring.
Yeah.
Hold on, I had a question from somebody, and I don't want to let it get
Okay.
too far before I forget.
All right, I'm outside with the dogs. I'm gonna put them in the kennels, and then I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me turn this
Come on.
this thing down. So I can breathe over here. They asked, so you add bone or whatever. I mean, to add bone, what do? You add bulldogs, and a lot of people are working on their programs and they're taking that step at a time. I'm not saying to go add bulldog to your program to add bone. There's plenty of dogs out there that already have bone. People are so crazy about breeding for pets that they don't realize, look at the dogs that are being bred for their pets. Those don't have any substance to them. All they have is pretty paperwork. Hey, mute your thing till you come back, Kenny, because the wind is blowing in the mic. Oh, I'll mute you. I'll mute it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, my bad. How do you do it?
Just make sure that you give me a signal when you're ready to get back. There's plenty of dogs out there that already have substance, that already have bone that you can add to your program. You don't need to go and add any bulldogs to your program. But you have to look at the standard and stop following behind these people that they complain about how everybody else is doing this and doing that and getting attention, and nobody shows no love, and everybody's a hater. But they don't realize, like, this, we breed a dog that's supposed to be bully, that's supposed to be bulky. It's supposed to make you go wow when you see the dog. It's not about just pretty lines and pretty paperwork. It's about the impression that the dog gives you when you look at it. And when I see people calling classics, to me, that's not a classic, because you got dogs like Hef, and you got dogs like Monster G and Juan Gotti, and all these dogs that are old, to me, would be considered classics because they're from that era. They're from over 10 years ago. So that's a classic. So these dogs have nowhere near the substance that these dogs have, so why are they being called classics? It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? The classic standard, go read it. Just type in ABKC standard, read it, the standard for the standard American Bully, and read the standard for the classic American Bully. They both call for bone and mass on the dogs. So, but to answer your question, no, you don't have to go and add bulldog to your program to add bone. There's plenty of dogs out there that throw bone, but people are so busy chasing color and chasing peds that
versus chasing phenotype, versus chasing a phenotype that we need in our breed. You know, you need these characteristics. You know, and everybody's chasing them peds, man, and they totally disregard the important things. You know, which is what the actual dog looks like. Our goal is to breed two dogs that are built and look very similar. That's it. Ideally, we would have a male and a female that carry almost the same amount of mass and that same look, and that's how we create a consistency. But unfortunately, our breed is still evolving, so a lot of times we're a little forgiving on the female, you know?
The females are just as important. There you go. He's back. Me open his mic up. Yeah, the females are just as important. People don't put that emphasis on how important the females are to keep that look. I mean, if you're gonna go and spend $5,000 to breed to your favorite male because everybody else is breeding to him, why would you take the worst female that you could find or the worst bitch you have on your yard? If you're gonna go spend $5,000, why wouldn't you go spend another 4 or 5 and buy a badass female to make the most out of that live? Why would you take a trash? And that's trash, because no dog is trash, but you know what I mean. But why would you take a female that has nothing to her, no breed type, no nothing, no mass, no bone, no nothing to her, and waste all of that money to do a breeding and get no dogs that look like the dog that you bred to just to get his name on a piece of paper? If you breed into, like when everybody was breeding the Dachs, everybody's breeding the Dachs, they breed into bitches that don't look anything like him. They're throwing puppies that don't look anything like him. And then they're breeding them to other dogs that carry his name in the pet, and you got 2 times Dachs, 2 times this, and they don't carry any of the characteristics of the dog that you like. I mean, you're throwing his pet up there all over the place, 2 times Dachs, but where's the look? It means nothing when you putting that up there. To me, it means absolutely nothing to me when you put up 2 times this and 3 times that and 8 times this, if the dog doesn't carry the characteristics.
Right.
I put my dogs, none of my dogs are inbred or line bred. I put my dogs next to any one of those dogs, and I promise you they don't have the bone and mass that my dogs got. So, I mean, that to me, it doesn't make any sense with the standard. Hold on, let me read this. Go ahead, Damon, we got any questions over there?
Yeah, actually, okay. It kind of feeds into what you were just saying. But it says, how can you argue with success? Pet breeders have one thing in their favor that, wait, that doesn't make sense. Okay, pet breeders have one thing in their favor. The 2 dogs that they're breeding together generally produce. So whether we think what they're doing is right or not, the fact that the dogs have big names, they had to have come from somewhere. Marketing promotions definitely have a part to play in it, but I think their productions generally speak for themselves. Not every breeder is going to hit like the way you want to hit as a breeder. We all know that. But I think if you generally have substance within your program, breeding for pets is not necessarily a bad thing. What do you guys think?
It's not. I don't think breeding for pets is a bad thing as long as you're breeding for those traits. If you like a dog, if somebody came to me and said, yo, I love balls, right? They love balls. And I sell them a puppy that doesn't look anything like balls. What does that paperwork mean? It doesn't mean anything. Now, if you're taking a dog that looks like balls, carries the traits he carries, and he's on the paper, then it's cool to breed for pets. But Dax is known for throwing. But Dax is known for throwing with certain bitches. So it doesn't breeding for the pet. Like just because you still got the female's pet on the other side. That doesn't make any sense. You stacking up blood. Let's just say bullseye. I'm not a fan of bullseye, but let's just say bullseye. If you tell me you got a 2x bullseye, 2x Miyagi dog, and it looks like an edge dog, your paperwork means absolutely shit. It doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. That's where people get it twisted, though. It's like because we say you shouldn't be breeding for pedigrees because there's more. Yes, pedigree.
Thank you.
There's a consistency there. It tells a story. But like Lawrence is saying, there's no story there. If your dog doesn't look the part of what its pedigree says, then it's a waste. It defeats the purpose. So yes, you want to create a pedigree that's consistent and has these good producers in it, but you create, as a breeder trying to create their own line, we want to create a certain look. We want to be known for the features that our dogs are throwing. So, and the consistency. If you don't have that, then you don't have shit. So pedigrees are important, but what people are doing is they're breeding, they're stacking up these pedigrees on these dogs. And the dogs that they're stacking up on, dogs, you can double up on a dog or use a dog, whatever, and it could benefit your program. But certain dogs have certain issues. And when you start doubling up on them and tripling up and quadrupling, you're creating a disaster. And it's just setting us back, man. You're setting yourself back is what you're doing.
But, I mean, not even going into the whole creating the bad structures. I mean, we just talking just pedigrees, period. People get caught up in pads. Oh, let me see the pad. They look at, I mean, they see, like I see people post up pictures of females that are looking for studs. And the female looks like shit, but they want to know what the pet is.
Right?
Or I'll see somebody that have a female, and I'll be like, why are you going to breed her? And they'll be like, what, you crazy? That's a such and such daughter. So what? It doesn't matter that she's a daughter of whoever. If she doesn't carry the traits, can she produce them? Yeah, if you take it to the right male, she can produce them. But how can you get any consistency in your litter if you're taking two dogs together that don't look none alike? They don't carry any traits together. The male got bone, but the female doesn't. The male has the arched neck, but the female doesn't. The female has body, but the male doesn't. Or the female has a small pointy head, and the male has a big square head. You can't get any consistency out of breeding two dogs like that together. So the pedigree don't mean shit if you're not matching up with the traits. If you love Dax, when you buy a puppy off of Dax, you should see Dax in the puppy. I mean, look, boss. Let me wake my baby out. If you say you like Boss, I'm sorry. If you say you like Boss, when I say you're a puppy, you should see Boss in the puppy. You understand? You see the bone. She carries his face, his general body type. You understand what I'm saying? Well, if I saw your puppy over, if you say you love Boss, then this is what I should be giving you. You know?
Oh, no doubt.
I'm sorry. Like, why are you waiting here? You know? That's what people don't get. You buy a dog off of Dax, you love Dax, then when you look at the dog, you should see that head that Dax is known for, that neck, the shoulders, all of that shit. If you like Magoo and you buy Magoo daughter, or you breed to Magoo, you want your puppies to look like him. What's the point of having paperwork that says a dog's name if the dog doesn't carry the traits? Because you went after the dog because you like the way he looks. So how much sense does it make to buy a puppy over a dog that doesn't look anything like the dog that you love? Then when you turn around and breed the dog, you hoping that you can get those traits out of the dog. That makes no sense at all. If you take two dogs together that are made of certain things, when you put them together, you can't get anything else but that. Okay.
Okay, she has a follow-up. She says, you guys make great points, and I completely agree with you. She said not to switch from that topic altogether, but let me get you guys' opinion on this. One of the most important things I think a lot of people are not talking about that are affecting our bully breed is novice breeders coming in, buying dogs and breeders without having the proper knowledge, being sold a dog in a dream, and never really being taught on how to execute whatever vision he or she may have, which just basically makes them end up leaving the breed or putting bad genetic stock into the breed that does nothing but hurt everyone inside the breed. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
That's how inbreeding got popular in this breed. There's no reason why you should be inbreeding, period, unless you already have the dog you started with that has the traits, and you produce another dog that has those traits that you want to lock them in. That's the only reason why you should be inbreeding. So most people, most breeders, when they sell your dog and it's a female dog, the way they get you to buy the dog is they tell you, son, all you gotta do, you get this female, when she's ready to breed, you bring her back, you run it to her dad, you gonna kill the game, double up. And they buy that shit, and that's why everybody, a lot of people that bought puppies from me, female puppies, they ask me if I want to take Phantom to the puppy. No. For what? Why? That's how inbreeding got popular. That's how all that paper stacking shit got popular. It makes no sense. If you really know anything about dogs and you thinking about it, it makes no sense to buy a dog that has 3 times anything that doesn't look anything. If it's 3 times that, then the trait should be super strong in that dog.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't look like something else, not have the traits. The trait should be super heavy in that dog if it's 3 times anything. I saw a litter that was 3 times Dax, 3 times Cash Pot, and they look like Greyline dogs.
That's crazy. And Cash Pot is a Dax dog himself.
Dax has a very distinct head, and so does Cash Pot. They have very distinct looks. Why don't these puppies look anything like these dogs? It's because they're taking dogs that somebody bred to Cash Pot, a female that was nothing. So they got Cash Pot in the thing. They inbred that. They doubled up on the Cash Pot. Got more dogs that don't look anything like Cash Pot. Somebody did the same thing with Dax. They bred them 2 dogs together, stacked up the pairs, 2 times Dax and 2 times Cash Pot, but it doesn't look anything like either one of the dogs. So what sense did that make? That's why I never breed for pet. I never chase pets. I never worry about pets until after I get my stock that I'm going to be putting together. Pets, I don't chase pets. I look at the dog that I'm looking.
There's an old saying, the dog makes the pedigree doesn't make the dog. And it refers to this exact situation.
Everybody's so bugged out, right? And she's talking about the Novice, and it's true, but it's crazy because people don't understand. Every time you breed to somebody else's dog because of the pet or because of the dog's popularity, all you're doing is furthering that person's thing. You gotta remember, all these dogs that are famous, before this dog became famous, you never heard of their parents. So why are you chasing pets over names and stuff like that? Create your own male that somebody's gonna be bugging over to you. No, I mean, I'm sure people heard of Romeo before Dax, but not very many people knew who the hell Romeo was until Dax came along.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Ichiban. The Barbie ain't get popular until Ichiban came. I mean, why are you chasing pets? Make your own pet. Make your own popular dog. If you have to constantly talk about your dog's grandparents when you describe your dog and you post your dog up on Facebook and all of that stuff, then that means you don't think enough of your dog, because I never mention any of my dog's parents. Even my puppy. And well, I say my puppy is a boy hog daughter, but your dog should speak for itself. You shouldn't have to ride off of the dog's ancestors to get people to be interested in your puppy. If they don't have the look, like, that's the main thing. The look is so important, man. Man, Albert Guzman said he's been saying that for years. Need to say it a little bit louder.
What up, Guzman? What's going on, homie?
He's trying to do his own thing with Sogo. He's doing it, and he definitely is. Doing it, you know. He's not. I don't think I've ever seen him try to market that dog off of his ancestors. That's the way you're supposed to do it, man.
Yeah, Sogo's a nice dog. Beautiful boy.
Man, Dorian Orr is watching.
My man, what up, D?
Man, D watching. Listen, y'all gonna find out some things about my homie in a little time. Y'all gonna find out some things about him. Gonna hurt some feelings in about 3-4 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Well, you know, you gotta get that extra couple of days with the, you know what I mean, with the guy. So yeah, it's about 3 weeks. It's gonna hurt some feelings. So shout out to my man Dorian Orr. All I'm saying is, if you remember what I said his name was, it's gonna look on his page. But yes sir, yes sir. Randy Moore Biggie will make a name for himself as well. I've been promoting him like crazy and not having to use pay to do so. Yup, that's true. I never seen Brandy do that. Only a couple of times just to show a little homage, like we all do, you know. Thank you, Albert. He said he like how we doing it, you know. Damien, you still there? Damien said he had to go pick his wifey up, so he.
No, still here.
Okay. You got any questions over there?
Yeah, I got a couple. Next question would be to speak about. It's back on the topic of partnerships. It says one of the biggest mistakes a lot of bully breeder partnerships I've made and seen fall apart over the years is not sharing a common goal. It makes no business sense in the bully community or in the real world to start a business relationship with someone who has totally different dreams and goals as yourself. It always will lead to failure in the end because when you want to go left, they want to go right. When you want to go up, they want to go down. Can you guys talk about some of the things or give us some of the insider information you guys share with your bully partners or in general to keep the partnerships going?
Well, this is what happens. Usually you start off with the same vision, but everyone's vision changes over time. So that's an issue. But my advice to everybody is if you're thinking about getting into
hold on, Irv. Shout out to my man Irv. He watching the Bully Round Table.
Irv, what up, Irv?
Thank you, Mr. Irvin.
But one thing you want to do with a partnership, man, don't jump into a partnership without getting to know that person first. Get to know that person. Get to see how he treats other people, how he conducts business on an everyday basis with other people, because then you know what kind of person he is. You know? It's like the friendships that I establish. I get along better with people that are like me, that are up front, that are outspoken, that don't hold back. I can appreciate people like that. So those are the kind of people that I get involved in business ventures with because I know that they're not going to be pulling no sneaky shit. Real simple. They're up front. It's just when you've been around long enough, you learn how to read people. And that's why. Create some kind of relationship and get to know that person before you jump into bed with them. You know what I'm saying?
No homo.
No homo.
But yeah, and like I said earlier, man, when you go into a partnership, make sure that it's like, you know, you got your thing, I got my thing. When we got something going on together, we come together and we do that. But other than that, like, if you keep it separate, even though you partners, doesn't mean that you sharing and you know, let me get this and no, let me get that. When anytime you involve money in anything that you do with anybody, it's always gonna be some type of issue. So there's certain things that you have to do to make sure that there's no possible way that these things can happen because we're not doing that. We're not gonna do this and we're not gonna do that, and therefore we won't have no issues with that. So for me, if I'm gonna have a partnership with somebody, it has to be an understanding that we completely separated in the things that we do, and that's just something that we do together. You know, I don't co-own any dogs with anybody. I don't take any co-owns in with anybody because as soon as something happens, now you got to figure out who gets the dog. That's when people like to be petty. You've been taking care of the dog the whole time, but the dog, their name is still on, and they want to be petty. Just, you know, so to avoid all those type of things, you don't do co. I've never done a co-own since I've been doing bullies, either in or out. I've never let anybody do a co-own on one of my dogs, and I've never taken a dog on a co-own. If I can't own the dog outright, I don't want the dog. That's how you avoid those type of situations.
No doubt.
Okay.
Zombie Exotics coming soon. Oh, he talking about the John yet. Dorian, he said Zombie Exotics coming soon. Thank you, Mr. BFK, Damien BFK. Not to be confused with Damien McComb. What's up, Damien? What we got over there? Zeb, shout out my man Zeb watching Bully Round Table.
What up, Zeb?
What's cracking, Mr. Zeb Brooks?
Next question will be, one of the biggest things I think is missing out of the bully community is proper education. It says you guys spit out these facts, numbers, and statistics like you know it by second hand, but the average person doesn't have the need or want to the same information that you guys share. How can we make this information just as important as the dogs themselves?
Gotta set the example, man. It's easy to tell people what to do, but when you do it, see, here's the thing about when you're in a community, any type of community, people gravitate towards success. So if you're doing your thing and you stick to your guns and you have success with it, people will start to change it. Look at how many people started switching to Frenchies and they had a little success that they wasn't having in the bullies, and how many people followed them. Right, people follow each other. So if you do what you see, don't worry about what nobody else doing. I'm going to continue to breed the type of dogs that I like, and there's a lot of people that like my style of dog. So I'm not going to keep flipping out. I'm going to tweak it a little bit for the things that I don't like about my dog. But the one thing that's gonna stay the same is, we got an echo there because yeah, he had two. He had two things open. You gotta stick to your guns, man. Don't worry about nobody else. You set the example, and when people see that people gravitating towards you and what you're doing, then they tend to want to do the same thing because they want to feel that same admiration and things like that. So I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm happy with my program so far. There's things that I still need to take care of in my program, but I'm happy with it, and I'm going to continue to do what I do. I'm not going to join no bandwagons and none of that, right, Mom?
Large
more. You see that, Mom? This is what the standard be talking about right here. Why? I'm my mama's.
Thank you, my man Steve says, shout out, respect to us for the information. Rafiq's talking about he trying to steal my girl. You better watch out, boy.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Rafiq trying to steal your dog, huh?
Trying to steal my baby. You trying to steal my baby.
Hold on, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock, man. Rafiq's usually in bed by 8.
He rocking out with the Bully Round Table.
Damn.
Rocking now. Yeah, we getting ready to get out of here too, y'all, man. We appreciate everybody that tuned in with us, and we give everybody on Facebook a view of my baby.
Do we have any questions? Do we have any more questions? Is that it?
Yeah, we got any more questions before we get out of here? We don't want to miss nobody.
Yeah, there's one more question. I'm sorry if I'm echoing. I'm in the vehicle. Let me read this to you. She says, it seems like a lot of times there is really no winning situation in the bully community. If you breed to what you think is right, someone will say it's wrong. If you breed to the standard, someone will point out an issue with your dog that'll say it's not bred to the standard. She said, in you guys' opinion, is there a way to breed and please everybody, or is it just better to breed and please yourself and your customers?
As long as you breed into the standard and actually breed into the standard, not saying you breed into the standard because somebody who got classic ass correct dogs said that that's what they doing, so you think that's what the standard is. As long as that's not what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Your look can be your look. The standard is what it is. It calls for the crest on the neck. It calls for the broad heads. It calls for the bone. It calls for the thick rears. All of that stuff is in place. Then go ahead and knock yourself out.
Yeah. I mean, just because you're breeding for yourself and for your customers doesn't mean that you're breeding an American Bully. That's the thing, because you could be selling dogs for $400. You could have some mangy looking mutts, but you've created a market because of the area that you live in and the price. But you're rocking American Bully paperwork or American Pit Bull Terrier paperwork, and it doesn't carry the breed type. So that necessarily doesn't mean anything. Like you say, you got to breed for what you like, but understand the standard and try to breed as close to the standard, the breed standard as you can. They create a market for that.
Right, so, yeah, like anything that you do, any type of business you do, you gotta have your market. I mean, so you're gonna breed to what you like, and there's gonna be people. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
There's gonna be people that like what you do, and there's gonna be people that don't like what you do. I mean, but as long as you are breeding, actually breeding to the standard, and not saying it because you're trying to either defend why your dogs don't have certain traits or criticize somebody else's dog, you need to really read the standard before you say these things, because the standard clearly calls for extreme features in the dog. It says it all throughout the standard over and over again. There's no way in the standard that it calls for skinny little legs, and no, it calls for the thick muscles, the wide shoulders, the wide chest. I said it over and over, but it's like it's right there for people to read, and nobody's reading it. But everybody's saying that that's what they're doing. You can't say you're following the rules if you don't know what the rules are. So that's the end of that. But if we don't have any more questions, thank you.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you, y'all. Go ahead, Dan.
Next question is, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of the situation that happened a couple of days ago with a kennel dropping a dog off at a kill shelter. She said things like this always make our breed look bad, and it happens more than people think. What are you guys' policies on dogs that might not necessarily fit your program that you've kept for a while? And how do you implement things within your program to make sure things like that won't happen to your dogs?
You want to go first, or?
Well, there's no way you can guarantee anything, but I mean, you just have to be. You can't just be so thirsty for money that you're gonna sell dogs to whoever's willing to pay for the dog. I mean, you have to be careful about who you sell dogs to, but you don't have any control. I'm holding the phone like this because it's live on Facebook. You don't have any control over what other people do, but me, myself, as a breeder, I would never do anything like that. Those that don't fit to what I consider would be like representing what I do in my stock, I sell them as pets, but I sell them to people who really want dogs, not just trying to grab a dog because they're trying to come up or they're trying to be slick and breed the dog on the sly. I sell them to people that I think are going to take care of the dogs, but you don't have any control over what other people do. That's why you can't just be breeding dogs that you saying you breeding to the standard, and so they come out with no bone and no body, and then people who want to spend $500 on them buy them, and when they get tired of them, they don't mind losing $500, so they will drop the dog off at the shelter. Somebody's paying you $3,500 for a dog. I don't think they're gonna be so quick to just drop that dog off at the shelter. So you have to realize that you have to breed. I mean, you have to almost try to breed dogs that are more desired just to try to avoid that. For me, I don't breed any dogs that I'm selling for $500 and $600. So nobody wants to lose $3,500 like that.
But when they're paying $3,500, they're expecting something. They have a vision on what they want, so they're gonna be happy. If you're producing that style of dog consistently, they're going to be happy. They're going to be happy and content with that dog, and that dog's going to live a happy life. But, like, one of the things I do is, screen everybody, as best as I can. We don't just – I don't allow just anyone to get a dog for me. Your contracts are a legal, agreement that hold a lot of weight in court. So if they're not taking care of the dogs or – they no longer want the dog, usually I go and take the dog back. But I haven't had many situations like that because, you know, usually the people that get dogs from me, man, are really good people, man. They're established. They have families. But what I do with dogs that I'm not using in my program anymore, I don't sell them. I give them away for free. I find homes, find good homes, and I give away. I've just given away several nice dogs, and everyone's super happy. And it's not because they're bad or anything. They just don't fit my program anymore. I rather a dog be in a family environment and just get that one-on-one time. Not that they don't get love with me. I give them plenty of attention, but there's no way I could possibly give, you know, a bunch of dogs the same attention that one family could give one dog. So that's what I do. I give dogs away to families for nothing, no fee. But good homes are hard to find. And that's how we do our part to just keep a balance to everything.
Mm-hmm. All right. No, I'm talking to my son, y'all. All right, we're gonna get out of here. It's getting late. It's 11:05. Appreciate everybody for bearing with us. Look at my son, think he the man. My son think he the boss. Like I said, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all for being with us with the technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on, but my mic wasn't working. We'll be back next Sunday. If you want to get on, send me an email. I'm going to do the thing like this again so I can get the questions. I think that worked out pretty good. We'll see y'all again, man. This is Bully Round Table, episode 21. Thank you, Damien, for taking your time out once again to hang out with us. Everybody that's hanging out with us on Facebook, I appreciate it. We'll be back next Sunday. And I'll see y'all during the week. Y'all know I'm always live. We out of here. Tony, you guys want to...
We'll say good night to everybody. Catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Damien?
All right, we out.
All right.